It is repetition which makes for perfection.
I do feel that part of art is having confidence. And sometimes when people start thinking about drawing a face, they get overwhelmed by thinking about how complex it is and all the parts. And really, it's just a bunch of lines. And if you can think about the complex things as something other than the complex things, right? It's kind of a weird version of imagining your audience naked, right? Don't see it as what you see it as or what you fear it as, but in a way that makes you feel comfortable and bemused and yeah. My feet look like the way I draw. They look like loose socks, don't they? They look like socks that are basically like his toes right here and socks kind of dangling. But I guarantee you, no one really looks at feet in drawings. I could draw this. I could draw this, and you guys would just be like, whatever, right? You wouldn't look. You wouldn't notice it. People look at the eyes. We are biologically programmed to look at the faces because that's how you know if someone is friendly, friend or foe, right? Their body gesture, but also like their eyes, their emotional state as conveyed by their expression on their face. So it's really vital and important that we don't look at someone's feet, but we look at their face. And in fact, when you look at someone's feet, it's because you're trying to avoid eye contact and you're trying to distance yourself from that person, right? Any advice for someone who's trying to improve? Yeah, just draw a lot. Draw more than you've ever have to the point where it's just uncomfortable and you don't want to draw anymore. And then push yourself to draw even more beyond that. That's how you get better. Right? It's like if you were a tennis pro and you're swinging the racket, you're never going to get good until you get blisters all over your hands because you've been literally swinging the racket nonstop, right? Um, if you start running, you're going to get blisters on your feet. But then if you keep doing it, they will callus over. And that's, yeah, same thing with art. It is something that only gets better through repetition, and you have to do it constantly. You have to accumulate that knowledge in your head and keep it in there. You can carry a lot of power and expression through the shoulders, but if you pull it too much, it breaks it, right? But you want to pull a little bit to get that sense of dynamism and movement and power. The line gets thinner to the top because that's where the light hits it, and it gets heavier to the sides. And that helps in a very subtle way kind of establish the three-dimensional form. And there's no way when you look at this drawing as a casual, like, hey, I'm just checking out this drawing, that you notice that. It's all about the subtleties of how all these decisions kind of add to creating some depth and drama and movement.